So right after playing Pandora Tomorrow, I immediately started the sequel Chaos Theory, and oh my god, this shit is so good. Imagine Splinter Cell at its prime, that is Chaos Theory. So in this video, we will determine if Chaos Theory is still worth playing in 2021. I've also made the Pandora Tomorrow video, so check that out if you want to, but anyways, right off the bat I want to start by saying that Splinter Cell Chaos Theory is way more flexible than Pandora Tomorrow. And considering this game just came after 1 year and gives you the best possible Splinter Cell experience is quite impressive. So Chaos Theory, what's so special about it? Well, almost everything. First of all, let's talk about the interface of this game. Obviously you have your usual health bar, but at the bottom there are some new things. The weapon tab shows how much ammo you have in your primary and alternate fire mode. Above that there's a new sound meter which indicates how much noise you're making. It's not just your footsteps but also whenever you're shooting something it jumps a little. After that you have your visibility meter which is same as usual. Above that there's a round icon which indicates how many alarms you have triggered and...
Don't tell me. 3 alarms and the mission is over?
Of course not. This is no video game, Fisher. But you don't want the whole place alerted to your presence. Keep it under control.
Yeah, boy.
Okay, the story is about Sam Fisher stopping something like a World War III, and there are some interesting points and some good moments that emphasizes the story by a fair margin. Although the story is somewhat intriguing, Chaos Theory's actual charm is in the gameplay. After the game mechanics, there's a lot of improvements. For the first time in any Splinter Cell, Chaos Theory lets you choose your loadout before a mission. There is a stealth option and an assault option, but the one I mostly chose was Redding's recommendation. Redding is Sam Fisher's field runner in this game, and I found his recommendation of guns and equipment quite useful, but man, for the first time you can actually play a Splinter Cell in different ways. Sam Fisher is also not a pussy doing head pats like previous titles, and he actually has a goddamn knife this time. But in some missions killing is prohibited, so in that time if you melee someone, you knock out instead of killing. That is pretty good. Your primary loadout is always that pistol and SC-20, and god bless Ubisoft that they improved the shitty pistol accuracy from previous game. Your pistol doesn't have the laser anymore, but it has a jammer attachment. With the jammer you can pretty much jam every electronics, starting from CC camera and any lights in the area to even a treadmill. The cameras cannot be destroyed anymore with bullets, so you have to use the jammer often, and with the lights they flicker for some time then they turns off. Keep in mind that jamming doesn't permanently terminate anything but for a short period of time. As your SC-20 has high accuracy, using that gun most of the time is a much better idea than relying on that pistol. Of course you can go Rambo, but it's still not recommended because I think to get the actual fun of Chaos Theory, playing stealth is the most suitable option. The methodology of shooting lights to make an area dark is still strong in this game, and the level designs are really good. Locked doors with keypads are also present, but there is an addition. You can now hack them. Hacking wasn't in the previous 2 games, and I think it's just a really good addition. You are given a short amount of time, and in that time you just play a minigame of matching numbers. Another cool thing is there is some training videos right inside the game which literally guides you, and this is where I learned the hacking process. Because I was a little confused when I was hacking for the first time. Mostly you hack computers and door keypads, and hacking really helps. You don't have to rely on finding a key code if you can master this hacking process. The pick lock keypad looks more polished than before. There are curtains you can cut for access, and overall level design is just pristine and actually feels like a professional stealth game. Even though there isn't any checkpoint system, the game lets you know when you are near an objective location. There's also a map which didn't really help me because it was just really confusing. I didn't know where my location was by looking at the map, so I had to blindly explore the area. Nevertheless, there is a lot of small crawl spaces that you can use as your advantage to this slow-paced stealth game. There are traps like wall mines and security lasers that can be overcome by specific tactics. Now if you don't hide the bodies in the shadows, it doesn't trigger any alarm like the previous games, which really puts a smile in my face. But if you want to get a success rating of 100, then you should still handle things like Sam Fisher. And now there's also secondary objectives beside the primary ones, which is optional but it's necessary for the success rating. As 3 alarms doesn't mean you're gonna get booted out of the mission, triggering more than 3 makes your secondary objectives unavailable. In some missions, if you do not complete any secondary objectives, you get some other optional objectives in the next missions to make up for the one you didn't, although they are still optional and doesn't hinder your core game experience. The enemy AI also seems to be revamped and they act to different situations. For example, when you turn off a light, they uses their own torchlight in the dark, or they examines the light, or some even turns the light back on again. The AI just feels super immersive and authentic now. There are also audio clues that you can get by simply eavesdropping on the enemies, like in this bang job level. One guy talks about motion sensing light to another guy, and after a bit I actually got caught by that light and they started to investigate why that happened. So this is not just a simple stealth action game. Lights are your nemesis and shadows are your friend. In addition to your night and thermal vision, you have a laser cam which you can use to hack something from a distance too. The uses of frag grenades, flashbang smokes are totally up to you, but be sure to quick save the game before doing something really crazy. The visuals are also super impressive. Like when it came out it was just mind blowing, and when you play it now you still wouldn't feel like damn, the graphics are shit. No, this game's visual is fucking solid as a 2005's video game. Objects, locations, lightings, shadows and everything are really well crafted. Some character model may look weird sometimes, but it's literally not an issue at all. I mean, just look at this wholesome guy headbanging to the most catchy Splinter Cell radio song. The main big thing about the chaos theory in my opinion is how much freedom it gives the players. You can make up your own plan, execute a strategy to complete a mission and feel like Sam Fisher, by a small margin. The vibe, the environment this game gives feels like I'm actually playing a Splinter Cell game. The time when Ubisoft was making some really good shit, but now?
The shit you cook is shit.
Alright, so now the real question, is it still worth playing? Abso-fucking-lutely, super worth it. This is probably the best Splinter Cell game and also one of the best stealth game ever created. Like damn, I would fucking love a remaster of Chaos Theory. It's just so good. So if you truly want an authentic Splinter Cell experience, just please fucking play this game. Anyways, if you like this video then first of all play Chaos Theory and then maybe subscribe I guess. See ya.
There is a bottle of fine whiskey hidden beside my bed.
This is hidden?